Warren Olney back with Reporter's Notebook on Which Way LA. Rome has the Colosseum, Paris the Eiffel Tower, Washington the memorials to various presidents. Last week, LA history buffs were delighted when the Cultural Heritage Commission designated Felix Chevrolet a cultural monument because of the rooftop sign featuring the comic character Felix the Cat. Alan Hess is an architectural historian, architecture critic for the San Jose Mercury News. He's also working on a new book, Forgotten Modern California Houses, 1940 to 1970. Alan Hess, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
This sign was built only in 1958. By comparison to historical monuments in other cities, that's kind of small potatoes.
Well, it's coming around to almost the 50-year mark, and so that is the usual cutoff point for consideration of historic buildings. So it's right in there.
What other objects are there in Los Angeles that fall into the same category?
Oh, gee, well, Los Angeles is known for these sorts of buildings, giant objects blown out of scale. There, of course, was the Brown Derby, one of the most famous, the Tail of the Pup, the hot dog stand, and there were various windmills for bandy camps. Even like Grauman's Chinese Theater was such an exotic, out-of-place, surreal piece of architecture that it falls into this category.
The original McDonald's is still preserved, is it not? But that's in Downey, I think.
Right, 1953.
What is it that, or what elements are required, do you think? What forces need to be at work for something to be designated a historical cultural monument?
Well, it needs to have some sort of presence, some sort of real validity to it. It needs to connect to the culture or to a community of some sort. And obviously Felix and these other buildings really resonate with Angelenos today as, when they really started to be built back in the 20s and 30s.
Well, let's get back to Felix the Cat. Does that resonate with you?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Well, I watched Felix the Cat cartoons when I was growing up, and so the figure has some meaning, but then to see it blown up to this enormous size, the size of a building, and to have it be lined in neon, and then to have it be always there. Every time you drive by on the freeway, there it is, always in its place, all of my life, certainly.
Well, would you call it a great work?
Oh, yes.
A great work of what? Neon sign building?
No, well, the line between sign and architecture has been effectively blurred in Los Angeles. That was one of Los Angeles's great contributions to world architecture, really. And so, the phrase in architecture, of course, is that form follows function, which we throw off very easily, but just as much form follows fantasy. And that is because architecture taps into something much deeper than simple function and efficiency. It relates to much deeper expressions and yearnings and desires and delights in the human character. And architecture should.
A lot of people call the signs visual pollution.
Many do, but I believe they're wrong, especially with something like this. It is designed, it's very carefully proportioned, detailed, positioned. It has all the qualities of any other well-designed building. And so buildings or signs like this certainly should be considered as seriously as any city hall or museum or great mansion.
We're talking with Alan Hess, architectural historian. Well, the mayor and the city council member in that area opposed this on the ground that now the owner of the auto agency won't be able to change it, won't be able to be part of the redevelopment of that area that's going on there. And the owner himself, who says he's in fact a member of the Los Angeles Conservancy, was opposed to it because he might at some point be ordered by General Motors to change it all around. He wouldn't be able to do it. He'd lose the dealership.
Yes, and so then, now what do we have shaping our landscape? What are the forces? What is the influence? What's the power? And really, do we want to give our landscape over to simply large corporations to brand the entire landscape of America? Or do we want to allow for these more intimate, historical, quirky, idiosyncratic, and delightful buildings to have a place also? I mean, it is an ongoing struggle in historic preservation in general. But I think, somebody does have to speak up and realize that a building like this or sign like this adds a great deal to the visual variety and interest and colorfulness of the city that very possibly the branded GM dealership will not.
Okay, well, that was the position of the Cultural Heritage Commission. We now will have Felix the Cat and the showroom under it when you go buy your Chevrolet or your Cadillac. And Alan Hess, I want to thank you very much for being with us.
You're welcome.
Architectural historian, architectural critic for the San Jose Mercury News.